mental health is understanding it. And if you've got guys who have really gone about trying to really learn about what feelings are, why we feel like we do, what can we do about it, that's part of the conversation too. We need more male role models.
Okay, stop. Before you scroll past this, I need you to understand what you're actually about to watch, because I have been following the British royal family for years, the drama, the scandals, the politics behind the palace walls, and I have never, not once, seen anything quite like what William is doing right now. And the wildest part, the part that should make everyone pay attention, is that he has not raised his voice. Not once. He has not given a single angry interview. He has not published a memoir. He has not made a single public accusation. And yet Camilla, Queen of England, is reportedly terrified of him. A royal author confirmed it. Christopher Anderson documented it. Angela Levin put it in writing. The Times, NBC, and Page 6 all reported it. Diana's son has already broken 20 rules. 20 that Charles spent 2 decades carefully building to protect his wife. He is not even king yet, and Camilla's entire position is already coming apart at the seams. We are going to go through all 20 today. Every single one. Personal defiance, protocol dismantling, structural erasure, and the 5-word declaration William made on international television that should keep her awake at night. And I promise you, Rule 12 and Rule 20 will stop you cold. Rule 12 is where William overrode his own father, and Charles could not do a single thing about it. Rule 20 is where he looked into a camera, watched by millions, and said 5 words that shattered every protection Charles ever built. We are going to get there. But first, let's start exactly where this story starts. If this is already hitting different, if you can already feel where this is going, don't go anywhere. It gets heavier before it gets beautiful. This is exactly what we do here. We don't let the important stories disappear quietly. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment right now telling me what you already think. I read every single one. Let's go. Rule number 1. The bow he wouldn't give. When Charles became king, protocol changed overnight. Every working royal, including William, was expected to bow to both the king and Queen Camilla. Page 6 confirmed it. Kate curtsied to both of them. But at the coronation concert in May 2023, one of the most photographed royal events of that entire year, a viral video caught William bowing to his father as he passed, and then deliberately looking straight past Camilla. Body language expert Judy James told the Mirror it was a textbook example of selective acknowledgement. And here is what makes it so much worse for Camilla. George didn't bow to her. Charlotte didn't either. William's children, the next generation of royals who will define this institution for the next 60 years, are being raised to treat bowing to Queen Camilla as optional. William didn't issue instructions. He modeled behavior. And they followed. Think about what that means long term. Rule number 2. One grandmother. Royal author Angela Levin documented something in her research that stopped me cold. William told his children they have 2 grandfathers, but only one grandmother, Diana, the woman they never met. A woman who died in a Paris tunnel before any of them were born is more present in that household than the woman who married their grandfather, was crowned at Westminster Abbey, and currently lives in Buckingham Palace. George, Charlotte, and Louis do not call Camilla grandma. Levin wrote that William made it clear Camilla is the wife of his father, not a grandmother to his children. She doesn't exist in their family tree. William didn't just snub her. He quietly, permanently erased her. Rule number 3. The motorcade moment. Royal author Robert Jobson documented an incident that tells you everything about who is actually playing power games here, and who refuses to play at all. Camilla, wanting to remind William where he ranked, told Charles to leave for an engagement without waiting when William and Kate were late. The message was clear: I outrank you, and I will show you. By the time William and Catherine came outside, all they could see were blue flashing lights disappearing into the distance. William didn't chase, didn't apologize publicly, just let it happen. Camilla tried to pull rank, William decided years ago he isn't playing that game. And here's the lesson in that. Hierarchy only works when everyone agrees to participate. William opted out. Those were personal. 3 rules, 3 cracks in the wall. But now, here's where it gets structural. And this is where Charles's entire plan for Camilla starts to unravel. Rule number 4. The title nobody uses. In 2022, Charles quietly removed the word consort from Camilla's title. She went from Queen Consort to Queen Camilla, the full designation, and the thing Queen Elizabeth herself had once suggested Camilla should never have. Charles gave it to her on paper, but William didn't need to say a single word. The public said it for him. Ipsos polling from April 2025 found that only 23% of Britons want her called Queen Camilla. 30% still prefer Queen Consort. 17% say she should have no title at all. Charles can change her name in official documents. He cannot change it in the hearts of the people. And William, he has never once publicly called her Queen. Rule number 5. The fear that never left. Christopher Anderson revealed something that reframes this entire story. When Camilla first had to meet a young William, she was, in his words, trembling like a leaf. She needed a vodka and tonic to steady herself before facing a teenager. And Anderson told US Weekly she has always been a little afraid of him. Not cautious, not professionally wary. Afraid. Charles's wife is afraid of Charles's son, and she still is. The hierarchy that was supposed to protect Camilla simply does not function when the person who ranks below her has more public support, more institutional trust, and carries the memory of what she did to his mother. 5 rules down, and we haven't even touched the structural dismantling yet. But before we get there, Rule 12 is still coming, the one where William overrides the king himself. Rule number 6, the coronation rewrite. Charles gave Camilla the full Westminster Abbey coronation. Anointed, crowned, seated on a throne, carried in the Gold State coach, live broadcast to a global audience. It cost over £100 million. It was the single most expensive legitimization project in modern royal history. And the Times reported in June 2025 that William plans to design his own coronation as the complete opposite. Stripped down, shorter, smaller, less ceremony, more purpose. Her crowning moment, the pinnacle of everything she fought for across 2 decades, will be architecturally erased by the ceremony that replaces it. Not undone loudly, just made to look excessive by comparison. Rule number 7, the Ascot handoff. Royal Ascot was the one tradition where Camilla was genuinely in her element. She and Charles share a deep love of horse racing. It was their comfort zone, their annual moment of relaxed visibility. A racing source told the Times that William made clear the whole top hat and racing scene isn't really his thing. But he didn't just step back quietly. Why, he handed the entire tradition to Zara Tindall, Princess Anne's daughter, Diana's niece by marriage. The one place Camilla felt at home as queen is now being transferred to Diana's extended family. That is not indifference. That is a message written in horse racing and ascot hats. Rule number 8, the palace he won't live in. Buckingham Palace is Camilla's home, her address, her daily symbol that she made it, that she endured everything and arrived. Radar Online reported that William plans to stay at his Windsor residence even after becoming king, using the palace for official duties only. He would be the first modern monarch not to live there. If the king doesn't live in the palace loses its meaning. Every year Camilla spent building her identity inside those walls gets quietly reclassified. Not a home she built, but one she borrowed. And William is about to ask for it back. Rule number 9, the dress code. Charles insisted on formality everywhere. Staff wore neckties. The Telegraph reported in October 2025 that William's household staff no longer have that requirement. Ingrid Seward confirmed William finds some of the pomp and circumstance slightly embarrassing. Here is the contrast he is drawing without saying a word. Diana was the most beloved royal in modern history, wearing jeans beside her boys. She didn't need neckties to command love. Camilla does. She needs the architecture of formality to look serious, and William is removing it, piece by piece. Rule number 10. The Victorian household under review. Charles preserved the royal household structure essentially unchanged since Queen Victoria's era. Elaborate ceremonial titles on positions that hadn't served a real function in a century. Camilla's entire team was built inside that structure, and palace insiders confirmed William has ordered a full review. Every role, every function, every position must now answer the question Charles never once asked. Does this justify its existence? The advisors, the ladies-in-waiting, the household coordinators who have occupied their roles for 2 decades were not hired to produce results. They were hired to maintain a system. William is ending the system. When the structure disappears, the protection it was built to provide disappears with it. Rule number 11. Fewer events. Her entire career was showing up. William told NBC News in December 2024 he wants a smaller monarchy. Fewer formal events, less pageantry. Under Charles's model, showing up was the job. So a packed schedule signaled commitment and made Camilla look essential. Under William's model, showing up is the minimum. The question that follows every appearance is, what did you actually accomplish? When the calendar shrinks, the people whose entire value was in appearing are the first to find they are no longer on the schedule. That is Camilla's career, described precisely. Charles gave her volume so she could look necessary. William is removing the volume. And the silence that follows asks the question nobody around Camilla wants to answer out loud. Now. Rule number 12, the one I told you about at the start. Rule number 12, the Andrew override. Charles handled the Prince Andrew crisis his way, cautiously, carefully, protecting the status quo. A source told Radar Online in November 2025 that William and Kate bulldozed their way into taking over the royal family's response entirely. The same source said William sees his father as, and I am quoting here, kind of weak and incapable of doing things the way he would do it. Camilla was reportedly fuming over how William handled her husband's approach. But here is what matters more than her fury. If William can override Charles on something as significant and public as the Andrew crisis, and get away with it, he can override him on anything, including Camilla, including every single protection on this list. He overrode the king. He was not even king yet. Can you imagine how that felt? The man she has been afraid of for 20 years just publicly overruled her husband. And Charles couldn't do a thing. 8 more rules to go. Our rule number 13, the Christmas overhaul. Every royal Christmas follows strict seniority. The walk to church, the seating, the gift exchanges, all by rank. Camilla walks at the front beside Charles. Royal broadcaster Neil Sean told Fox News in December 2025 that William wants to overhaul the entire tradition. More family-oriented, less formal, less about seniority. He wants it to feel like Catherine's family gatherings. Remove the rank structure, make it informal, and suddenly Camilla isn't the queen at Christmas. She is just Charles's wife sitting at a table where everyone is equal. Seniority was her armor. William is asking everyone to come without armor. Rule number 14, the balcony moment. Trooping the Color 2024. The most photographed royal moment of the year. When the palace said Charles placed Kate beside him on the balcony to honor her return following cancer treatment. But sources close to William say he quietly pushed for that exact placement. And the image told a story that no press release could reframe. Kate Middleton, not Camilla, stood at the king's right hand. Every newspaper ran that photograph. Every broadcast led with it. That single image reached more people in one afternoon than Camilla's entire coronation. The future of the monarchy stood beside the king, And it was not her. Rule number 15. The title purge. Multiple outlets confirm William intends to reduce royal titles when he becomes king. Radar Online quoted an insider saying his vision is a monarchy fit for the modern age. Less pomp, fewer outdated titles. He has reportedly discussed removing titles from his own children. If William is prepared to strip Princess from his own daughter Charlotte, what chance does Camilla have of keeping Queen? The man willing to do that to his own family will not lose a single minute of sleep over Camilla's title. And now, the next 3 rules are different. They are not about institutions or protocols. They are about Diana. This is where everything becomes impossible to ignore. Rule number 16. The ring. When William proposed to Catherine in 2010, he did not purchase a new ring. He gave her Diana's sapphire, the most recognizable piece of jewelry in modern royal history. The ring the entire world watched on Diana's finger for 16 years. Now it is on Catherine's hand at every event, in every photograph, at every official engagement, forever. Every time she raises her left hand, Diana's ring catches the light. Every handshake, every wave, every portrait, and Camilla has to stand beside a woman wearing Diana's ring and smile like it does not burn. Rule number 17. The name. In 2015, William and Catherine named their daughter Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. Diana, written into a princess's birth certificate, embedded permanently into the line of succession. William did not whisper his mother's name in a private moment. He inscribed it into the future of the institution that failed her. Every time that name appears in an official document, every time it is read aloud at a state function, every time it is spoken at a future coronation, Diana is there, not as a ghost, as part of the record. They cannot erase her now. That door is closed. Rule number 18. She was failed. After the Dyson inquiry proved the BBC used forged documents to manipulate Diana into the 1995 Panorama interview, William released a televised statement in May 2021. He said his mother was failed, not just by a rogue reporter, but by leaders who looked the other way. Those words, leaders who looked the other way, describe more than one institution. They describe the palace. They describe everyone who allowed Diana to suffer while protecting the system around her. William said the quiet part out loud on television to millions of people, and everyone who was listening knew exactly, precisely who else he meant. Rule number 19. Diana's cause, William's crown. Charles built his legacy around organic farming and architecture. William was expected to find his own lane. He did. It is Diana's. His Homewards initiative, his signature, defining program to end homelessness, is directly inspired by his mother. In a 2024 ITV documentary, he described visiting a homeless shelter with Diana when he was 11 years old. He said the visits they made together made a deep and lasting impression. Picture it, an 11-year-old prince watching his mother kneel beside people sleeping on cardboard floors. She knelt, and the boy remembered. When William becomes king, his defining cause will not be Charles's cause. It will not be Camilla's. It will be Diana's. Every shelter visit, every homeward speech, every headline will carry the same quiet reminder of whose values are guiding the throne. And now, rule number 20. The 5 words. Rule number 20. Change is on my agenda. October 2025. Apple TV's The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy, broadcast to millions worldwide. My William looked into the camera and said 5 words. Change is on my agenda. And then, I think it's very important that tradition stays. But there are also points where you look at tradition and go, is that still fit for purpose today? Is that still the right thing to do? That is it. That is everything. Every tradition in the monarchy must now answer that question. Every protocol, every ceremony, every title, every single rule Charles built to protect Camilla over 20 years. Is it still fit for purpose? William did not shout it. He did not accuse anyone. He said it calmly, on camera, to millions, and every journalist in Britain immediately understood exactly what those 5 words meant for everything Charles had built. Here is the life lesson in all of this. And I want you to really sit with it before you go. Real power does not announce itself. It does not hold press conferences or publish memoirs or give outrage interviews. It acts. It makes choices. A bow not given, a title never spoken, a ring placed on the right hand, a name written into a birth certificate, a cause built from a childhood memory of his mother's hands. William has said almost nothing directly about Camilla. He doesn't need to. His choices are the statement. His children are the statement. His architecture for the future monarchy is the statement. Charles built a fortress around his wife, carefully, expensively, over 2 decades. He believed that ceremony creates legitimacy, that titles and coronations and packed schedules and Victorian household structures could build something durable. What he may not have fully reckoned with is that his son was watching Diana. And Diana never needed any of it. She was the most beloved royal in modern history, in a baseball cap visiting AIDS patients when institutions were still afraid to touch them. She didn't need formality. She needed to be real. And she was. Camilla needs all of the architecture, the title, the schedule, the structure, the formal bows, the seniority at Christmas tables. She needs it because without it, the question becomes too loud. And William, who grew up inside that contrast, who watched what authentic love looks like versus what institutional protection looks like. William is simply removing the architecture, one rule at a time. No fanfare, no announcement, no rage, just choices. 20 of them. All broken before he has even worn the crown. And that, honestly, is the part that should keep all of us thinking long after this video ends. If you want to see what happens to Camilla the day the crown actually moves, the 20 things she stands to lose when that moment comes, that video is right here. Because what you just watched isn't preparation for some distant future. It is already happening. The crown has not moved yet, but the power already has.